So let's go into your reading, Capricorns. The first thing we have here is the Princess of Pentacles and the World. So both of these cards are extremely, extremely positive in, well, as a cluster and also right next to each other, okay? So the first card out of the deck is this Princess of Pentacles. So this is your energy, and you can be male or female. What it's saying here is you're starting something new. You're learning new craft. You're learning new skills. A lot of you might have recently undergone some type of educational training or even some type of vocational training situation. So you're in a really good, happy place right now. You're learning new things and you're expanding your knowledge base, okay? A lot of you might be in a situation where you're physically, working on, I feel like a lot of manual dexterity, building up something for somebody to benefit, okay? And if you look at what she's holding, it's the pentacles, but it's also like, there's like wheat here. So I do feel that a lot of you might be in a nurturing capacity in some way, learning to take care of other people, or you're in a position where you are learning new skills to be able to bring something, you know, a little bit more fruitful or to expand upon your career. This is the apprentice card. It's also like the card about expanding our knowledge base, going back to school, getting some type of internship or some type of training. The money that's coming through indicates to me it is the beginning of stability, okay? Just the very, very beginning. The hard work, once again, and I don't like saying this because I said it a few months ago. The hard work, the groundwork is pretty much laid out, and the money is coming through. So financially, I feel that things are stable, consistent. You're an earth sign. You know how to manifest things and you know how to build upon financial abundance. So I don't feel that you're going to be in dire strait financially for this month. It's coupled with the World card, and the World card indicates our world expanding, okay? It indicates basically opportunities are definitely scattered all around you. I do feel that you need to grab new opportunities when it comes to either friendships, work, internships, or even any type of income generating endeavors. Whatever you do right now, they're going to, in the long run, they're going to come to fruition. And I do feel greatly there's this element of 4 months time where things are really going to gain momentum, gain traction, and you're going to reap a lot of rewards from it, okay? The World, in certain circumstances, and I do feel based on the energies that are coming through in, you know, the entire spread, it deals with restrictions. And the restrictions are not so much external as it is about, you know, what you want to move forward with and what decisions that you need to make for yourself, independent of other people, so that you can create and build a life that you want that is appropriate for you. Going back to the initial message, it is a very me-oriented month this month. So try to make decisions that are going to be long-lasting for yourself to build your own foundation, because I feel like this is more of a self-reliant, self-help type of a month, okay? What's coming through in terms of your communication? We do have the 3 of Swords as well as the 8 of Wands. So let's talk about the 8 of Wands first. This is swift messages, okay? This is communication via electronic channels. This is like, you know, these are arrows and they flow pretty fast. And this also indicates as well the arrows of love. But I'm going to look into your love situation first. What I do feel is because you're building on something, there's a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of information that you are absorbing, okay? So you're going to have to be very, very nimble on your feet, on your toes. And you know, Capricorn, it's the sign of the goat. You are very firm-footed. And once you have your feet planted, it might be a little bit hard to budge you. So I feel that you're going to have to embody the element of the air signs where they're a little bit more nimble. They're a little bit more like versatile in order to be able to quickly switch from one thing to the next and to multitask, to do things and not be afraid about being disrupted. You know, sometimes like when we get into the flow of doing something, it's really frustrating to be constantly interrupted by other people. And then we have to like get ourselves back into that flow, to that Zen state. So I feel like the ability to concentrate or the ability to be able to work with minimal interference from other people it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you. Okay. So I do sense in that way, that's the first message that I'm getting. So I feel like you have, if for those of you in a new job, in a new environment, and you're trying to start over, I feel like the environment is quickening. And we do have, the Mars now in its rightful path is no longer in retrograde. So it speeds up everything. So everything is being like enhanced, and everything is like very, very rapid, at a very rapid pace. So I do feel that you really need to hit the ground running, and you really need to like be able to shift from one thing to the next, and to learn to multitask, and also to absorb a vast amount of information. I feel like that's what's coming through. Overall, this card is very, very positive. Okay. It just means a little bit of adjustment is needed in the way that you normally do things. Okay. It's coupled up here with the Three of Swords. So I'm going to talk about this interpretation. The Three of Swords deals with a separation. It deals with a situation where we feel like, we feel pain, we feel regret, we feel heartache. And it also, in certain circumstances, this is a new interpretation that I've started encountering with this card, is rejection. Okay. It could be like not getting accepted to the program that we want. That's a rejection. Not getting the apartment, the house, the lease that we want. Not getting the classes that we want. Not getting the professor that we want. So these are like very, very minor things in the greater scheme of things, because I feel like you still have some positive cards coming through. Okay. So it can deal with a situation where you might be turned down. Okay. On the other hand, going back to the initial message I mentioned about confusing communication, I do feel that's what's coming in. I see this this succession of emails, text messages shooting back and forth between you and another person. And I do feel that it could be a little bit aggravating. It could be a little bit destabilizing. So I want you to just be very, very patient for this month, and don't read too much in between the lines. Okay. And I do sense that's going to bode well for you, so that you're not inundated with negative thoughts and pessimistic, tendencies, because, that can create a self-fulfilling prophecy type of a situation as well. So don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it, because on the one hand, it looks very good. People just might be running their mouth or shooting off at the hip without serious thoughts about how their words can affect other people. So I do sense like communication messages coming through that might be very curt, that might be very blunt to the point, not sugar coated, and you feel like, wow, that stings a little bit. Okay. So we're going to do the love reading and see if this is coming up in the love sector. But I do feel this is more like you're meeting, you might be in a new environment with a new crowd, and there might be just a lot of people in general. So I feel like you just be comfortable, be clear in your own foundation, so that no one can basically shake you from this place of self-confidence. Okay. So just be very, very firm about that. And I don't feel you're going to have a problem doing that, but versatility, being able to multitask and being nimble on your toes, on your feet, that's going to be more of a challenge, I feel, for Capricorns. In terms of your health, let's look at this. We do have the Four of Swords, which indicates to me being mentally overtaxed and taking a break from a situation. Okay. So I feel here there might be some stoppage in communication. You are waiting on communication from someone, and the communication might have been problematic, and it was taxing you emotionally. So you're taking some time off to recoup your strength, to heal, and to also, reflect on certain things. Okay. Reflect mentally on certain things. On the other hand, if there has been like communication coming through from another person, and it could be you blocking the communication, or, taking a break from that intensive conversation in order to figure out how you want to respond. Okay. But I do feel this is stretching out to be like, a good 2 or 3 weeks where you might be separated from another person. Okay. Where you might not want to deal with the situation, or you might want to take some time off for yourself to take care of responsibilities on your end, to make decisions on your end, which is what I recommend, in order to know how you want to move forward, and in order to be certain as to what you want to do to move forward on your own. This is a card about retreating from a conflictual situation as well. And if someone has been, if there has been a separation and someone is also blocking out the communication, then I definitely feel that there will be contact again, okay? Because the Judgment card indicates family reunion. It indicates like the angels blowing the horns and everybody wakes up. So in a way, it is greatly about communication, about contact, about people coming back together again. And it is a renewal in a situation. What I'm feeling here is for a lot of you, so this card came out first. For a lot of you, you're hoping for a brand new beginnings. You're hoping for that ex to stop contacting you. That's what I'm picking up here. You're hoping for a situation where somebody has been like very, very confusing or very like conflictual with their messages, with their communication. You want to put an end to it so that you can have your new beginnings, so that you can move forward with this situation and have everybody see eye to eye. Okay. A lot of you are actually, I feel you might be caught in the crossfires, and you have to play mediator. And this situation you feel is a little bit like, juvenile, and you don't want to take part in it. You don't want to be caught in the crossfires between two warring fractions, two, people who are in intense arguments with one another. So you're choosing to check yourself out of this situation, and you're waiting for it to blow over. You're waiting for some circumstances I feel happening around you to blow over. So once again, retreat and, recoup your strength, do whatever you need to do and start over. Okay. There is a water sign in your midst, and this can play out as a male or female. This is, I feel very strongly, it's a water energy, possibly water sun sign. So we're talking about Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And this is somebody at their best. They're very nurturing. They're always willing to give you a shoulder to cry on. They're always willing to give you like a shoulder to lean on, they have been the sounding board for you to bounce ideas off of. And I do feel that if this is somebody from the past, there is some type of a stall blockage or taking a break from this person. Now, this person seems to me to be like somebody who's very nurturing, very caring, very emotionally deep. You can have very, very profound, deep, life-changing conversations with them. Okay, so regardless of whether or not they are a male or female, I do feel that the energy is very supportive for a loving union in every way possible. At their worst, however, they can be very indecisive. They can be a little bit like emotionally manipulative, okay? At their worst, they can also bring about a lot of confusion. They're like passive aggressive, and they might not communicate in a way that is conducive for mutual understanding. So withholding information or saying one thing meaning another, passivity and things like that. Okay. So I do want you to just see how this person plays out in your life, because it's coupled with the Hangman, which is a major arcana card. And the Hangman indicates a situation where you are going to have to do some thinking outside the box, or at least creative thinking, in order to deal with this person. So I don't know how this is going to play out for you individually, but I feel like if this is somebody coming from the past, I do feel you taking a break altogether and just moving on, okay? If this is somebody that is newly coming through, because we do have the Judgment card here, they might be in a situation where they might lead you on. They, like I mentioned, somebody around you, you're giving them communication, but they're dealing with a lot of murky energy. They're dealing with a lot of like confusion, a lot of stagnation in their own life, and they might not respond to you in a timely manner. So don't assume the worst. Just give it some time, and I feel the situation will clear itself up, okay? So I definitely feel like a lot of like reconciliation. I feel a lot of energies where you are looking at somebody from a different light and figuring out a way to move forward with them as well, okay? So the energy is very, very beautiful. In terms of your advice cards, what we have here is the Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Four of Wands. So first of all, let me talk about this. I feel like the beginning of the month, you are building upon something. You're acquiring something. And I feel like a lot of the acquisition, a lot of the things that you are building up, it's for your own foundation, okay? Not in the spirit of selfishness or anything like that, but you're building something of value that you know will be good for your future. I do feel one of the main themes for this month is about compromise. Make sure that the other person is also compromising to the same extent. I also feel what's coming through is you're very, very busy this month. You're going to be inundated with a lot of responsibilities, a lot of work, and I feel like this might be monotonous. This might feel like tedious work, sending out resumes even. This is traditionally, in the standard Rider-Waite deck, it's like sending out resumes, creating copies, multiple copies of resume, multiple copies of something. So the work seems a little bit tedious, but you like predictability. So in this situation, the work is not that troublesome for you, but I definitely feel you working very, very diligently to build something, to sustain something, and you're putting a lot of consistent effort into a situation, okay? Your diligence, whatever the amount of hard work you're putting in, you're going to be divinely rewarded, because I feel like you're moving away from a troublesome situation into clearer and less turbulent water. So what that means is, if in the past there might have been financial concerns or finances are not coming in enough, I feel for a lot of you, we start off the month, there's a new job, there's a lot of new information you have to absorb. You're doing it really, really well. There might be some snags along the road, like I feel the end of the first week, going through the second week, but by the third week, I do feel that you're going to get back into that state of zen, that state of flow, and you're going to be able to learn how to do things in a smart manner, to be able to streamline things. As a result, you're becoming more productive, and as a result, your finances will start to accumulate in financial abundance, okay? So overall, it looks really good. The financial situation looking very good, as well as getting the flow of things in your new work environment. In terms of like coupleship and I guess relationships and home situations, we have the Four of Wands here. And the Four of Wands is traditionally the marriage card. There might be situations where a lot of you are, I see renewing your vows here with the Judgment card. I also feel like feasts, festivities, and generally, possibly escalating, taking the relationship to the next level, overcoming some deep-rooted issues within a relationship, taking things to the next level, and seeing eye to eye with another person. There is going to be harmony and stability brought back into your foundation, whether it is financial or whether it is physical, in the physical realm, like in the home environment. There is going to be that, okay? I also feel a lot of you might be moving. You might have been sending out like applications to land a home. A few of them might not have met the criteria. Like a few of the houses, you might have to turn them down, or you might have been turned down for a few houses. But at the end of it, you're going to find something that was preordained for you. A lot of you are moving in with another person. And I do sense like there might be a little bit of a argument or a dispute that comes in. It seems very minor. You will overcome it, and then you will both, be on the right course in order to move in with one another. So overall, this looks very, very good. I do feel new home movements, and like I mentioned, it's going to take about 4 months time in order for everything to start to stabilize on the home front, for you to start to, make it a home, to furnish it, to build furniture, not to build furniture. Maybe some of you build furniture, but to make it really like a home, to give it personality and character so that you can call it your home. So I do sense things are looking really good, Capricorns. You have a lot of stability coming through. Be very patient when dealing with another person. I do see like unintended, like, twisting twisting words around or misinterpreting somebody's intentions, okay? But aside from that, I do feel it's going to be pretty smooth sailing.